Pause if you need to read anything during the video. I will explain the rotation step by step. We first start by doing Raiden's skill, which will buff the burst of other characters and generate particles as it deals electro damage while off-field. We then do Xingqiu's burst to do damage and apply hydro to enemy, followed by his skill to restore his energy and also deal some damage. Now, we do Bennett's burst, which will give us a massive damage buff and heal us, followed by his skill to restore some energy. We now activate Xiangling's burst, which will deal massive damage while she is off-field, followed by her skill so she can get some energy particles and buff her pyro damage if she has the right constellation. Now to the big damage. We do Raiden's burst, which will deal massive amount of damage and restore massive amount energy for all teammates. Now you do the same rotation again and again till the opponent dies. Now for the build, we start with Raiden. For her weapon, obviously her signature is better, but if you do not have it, then for this team only, we are going to use Skyward Spine instead of the catch. You'll see why later. For the artifacts, Emblem of Severed Fate is the best set you can have on her, which will give her more energy recharge and buff her burst depending on the amount of energy recharge you have. You'll need to focus on crit rate, crit damage, energy recharge and attack to maximize the damage. 200% energy recharge is enough for her. Once you reach that number, you can start focusing on the other stats. For her talents, you should prioritize her burst, as it is the main source of damage in this team. This is the result of my build for Raiden. On to Xingqiu. For his weapon, we're going for Favonia's sword to ensure his energy recharge needs. If you do not possess this weapon, check this list of 4-star weapons you can use. Onto the artifacts. I will also use Emblem of Severed Fate on him to further buff his burst damage relative to his energy recharge and also buff his energy recharge. If you're using the Favonia's sword, try to focus on crit rate, more than crit damage, and you should also focus on attack and energy recharge. For his constellation, C3 is good enough, but C6 is much better. For his talent, you should focus on his burst. Then, if you want, you can upgrade his skill after maximizing his burst. This is the result of my build. Onto Bennett. It's a pretty easy build. For the weapon, choose the one that has the highest basic attack, since the buff is based on the attack provided by his weapon and character, not from his artifact. For his artifacts, for Peace Noblesse Oblige will give a massive damage when he bursts. You will need to focus on energy recharge and HP so you can heal better and have your burst ready at any moment. I recommend C5 for his constellation, but C1 will still carry you. For his talent, you only need to upgrade his burst. For Xiangling, we're using the catch, which is why we aren't using it on Raiden. If you want to use the catch on Raiden, try to get any energy recharge weapon on Xiangling. For the artifact, We are also using Emblem of Severed Fate for energy recharge and burst buff. We should focus on energy recharge, crit rate, and crit damage. For her constellation, I recommend C4. C3 is still good, but C4 will give her burst a longer duration. For her talents, you only need to level up her burst, since the damage is coming from it. First, we start by putting down Zhongli's shield for protection from interruption. Next, we use Arlecchino's skill so we can do other things while waiting for the X to charge up. Next, we use Kazuha Burst to swirl Pyro and get the enemy's Pyro resistance debuffed. We then use his skill for energy regeneration. We then use Bennett ult for attack buff and healing. Now we switch back to Arlecchino. Do one charged attack and then a combo of normal attacks. For her build, her signature weapon is the best, but if you don't have it, I'm sure you have 5 white tassels, which will give you crit rate and normal attack buff. For the artifact, I'm using Gladiator Finale. Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy set is the better set to farm for her, since it's new and it's hard to farm. I'm using Gladiator as a replacement, which work very well. You should focus on crit damage, crit rate, and attack. For the talent, prioritize her normal attacks, then her skill, and lastly her burst. You only use the burst when on low HP. For Bennett, it's the same build as the last one. You can go back to for minutes and for seconds for more info. On to Kazuha. For his weapon, I like to use Sacrificial Sword, although any energy recharge weapon works on him, like the Favonius Sword. For the artifacts, for Peace Viridescent Veneer will weaken the enemy's resistance of the swirled element. From here, focus on energy recharge and elemental mastery for more damage. You can level up his burst and his skill for more damage. For Zhongli, it's simple. You only need HP. Black Tassel is the best option. For the artifact, Tenacity of the Millilith is the best set you can use on him. Focus on HP only for his shield. For his talents, you only need to level up his skill for shield strength.